Hello and welcome to a special little project on the PrinnyCast channel. I'm Chris. You might know me from things like the PrinnyCast or as Chris on the PrinnyCast. So we're going to do something that's really probably stupid and be part game dev diary and part tutorial. Yes, tutorial. Me teaching a tutorial. This can only end poorly. But we're working with RPG Maker VX Ace, which is of course a role-playing game design kit that you can get on Steam. You can also get it other places, but I recommend the Steam version because everything works quite nicely and you get your updates and everything if you need them. So I've already started a new project here, and we're not going to start on the PrinnyCast RPG right away. We're actually going to kind of show how this whole mess works, at least the best of my ability. I haven't really touched this thing in 6 months, so I may stumble a little bit. Not like I stumble anyway. I mean, even my mere words are stumbly. But what we have here is the map switch icon up here, and this is going to allow us to literally paint our beginning area. And I'm just going to make ourselves a simple little island. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. All the detailed stuff we can get into better later. I'm going to click on this. Now the layering system is very different than the type of RPG makers I'd used in the past. So the layering, you know, you have your background areas and then you have your, because you can paint this on top of this, it's not changing this back here. Erase. However, you can paint with other things, and we're going to need this tower, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Boop. But if I were trying to put a tower on the other tower, kind of 3D stuff, you'll notice there's a little problem there. There's a little, just cuts it right off there, so that's not good. And a handy little thing is when you right click, you can copy whatever you're on top of, so it makes a good eraser when you're doing something, or if you're wanting to put like another set of trees. Let's go back here and put a little bit of mountains just for the heck of it. Okay, that'll do us for our little map for the moment. So next, you'll see this little guy with the S on it. You can move him around at the moment by clicking and dragging. That is our starting position for our main character. Now I'm using all basic standard stuff here. I'm not going into custom graphics or anything. This is basically the basics just to show how easy it is to work with this thing. But anybody who's actually worked with it is going to know that this is not something you just jump into and make an epic game out of. So him starting out right there is just fine, but we have no game yet. Whoa! Yeah, you can change all that too, but yeah, I can walk around. You'll notice the water's already animated, so we've got a start here. I mean, we've got some transparency on these trees, so it looks like he's actually going through, but we can't do anything else yet. So we need a few little addendums first. But before we get into too much of that, we should probably go inside here. This is a big part of the game right here, the database. This is going to open up this wonderful, wonderful thing. Here's our tile sets, and we have several different groups that come with the game, and they each have these tabs down here so you can see all the different stuff that you can use from it. But for this, we'll probably just be using the dungeon here in a moment and the field. We also have our actors. All of this stuff is, of course, standard with the system, but you can customize absolutely everything. And just for the heck of it, here is player 1. Yeah, that's stupid. The class is a soldier, but you can change what the classes do. Here's your parameter curves, which means during his level ups, this graph right here shows more or less how his maximum hit points is going to be leveled up with. And you can do the same with each of his stats. You can have a variant level and all sorts of wonderful stuff. Including the play with the XP curve. Anybody that's played desktop tabletop RPGs knows exactly what these things are, but this is how many experience points it takes for him to level up. We're not going to touch any of this stuff. We're not even going to touch his skills or the features. All this stuff is amazing stuff to get into. Right now, we're just going to be really basic. We're even going to leave all his weapons and stuff, which is another lovely thing. How about this? We can make this the player axe, just to show you how simple it is to change the wording and stuff like that. And here, he'll do a little bit more damage than what he normally would. However, you'll notice there's some downsides to it. He's not going to hit as often, and he's a little bit slow, but that's okay for our particular demo. Your armors are in here, and we need some enemies, so the slime here is going to be just fine. Here's the demo slime, yeah, just for the heck of it. And we are going to need a boss, so I'm going to take this Hornet and just call him Boss Hornet. And I'm not even going to change his stats all that much. I'm going to give him a little bit bigger defense and give him quite a bit more hit points, so it's going to take a few more strikes to kill. Those are the only two enemies we're going to be bothering with right now. So, we have our enemies, we have our boss. So first things first, map properties. We don't need it to loop or anything like that. You can change the size of it. Right now it's locked into place. I'm moving my hands like you can see me. Yeah, that's good. Locked into place so that it doesn't scroll around, but you can make it bigger and actually wander around quite a large area. But right now we need some enemies. So we're going to, if I remember how this works, right? Troops, there we go. So, oops, yes, there's something important I've already missed. I knew this was going to happen. Troops. Now, we're going to be using the basic battle system, once again. So here's 2 slimes. That sounds like a perfect troop formation for our just rambling around out here. You can change all of that, of course, too. So, slime. I don't remember what the weight is. I think it's how often they appear. It's been around steps average. How about that? So it's such a small map, I'm going to lower that to 10. And that'll do us. Now we should be able to walk around and run into those little slimes and build our levels up and what have you. But we need another map because we need inside this tower. So I'm going to go to new map. I'm going to call this tower for no reason at all. Change the tile set to this dungeon. And once again, I'm not going to change anything in here other than go ahead and add more slimes. Boop, boop, boop. Alright. So now we have a new zone here, and we've got a new tile kit. Once again, we're going to just really quickly splash something together here, so make sure I'm on the paint. So I'm going to make that little square, and I'm leaving a little space there for our entry. Oh, I guess I'm doing that wrong, aren't I? Because we want our entry to be... Anyway, let's do that. That's ridiculously... I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, I'm dragging both of these because these go really good together. And the game thankfully already adds the shadow when you need it. So that works in our favor here. And we'll just draw them on down through here. And finish our tower like so. Which is not quite how I wanted this, but that's okay. That'll work. That'll work. And we want that boss. We really want that boss. So I'm going to go back up here to the event. And events is what almost all of this comes from. And you're going to see this particular sucker a lot. But what we need right now is, let me see, battle processing right there. Tab 3. We're going to call up our Hornet. Unfortunately, we're going to have to change that a little bit, but for the moment... Oops, there's one more thing we need to do. We need to find a graphic form. So do we have a Hornet in the monsters? Yes we do, right there. There we go. We'll leave the walking animation on. And what we need now is to be able to actually get our hero into here, which is easily done. Go into here. We go to transfer player, I believe. And this will let us select where we end up. So we want to go in here and go like that. Boom. That's simple. As soon as he walks onto that path, he should be transported now. And we do the same thing in here because, you know, we just might want to go back outside. Not for this demo, currently, there's nothing out there, but just for the proof of it. Okay, and then I also wanted to change this dude so he's less... Yes, there's a lot of stuff to be getting into shortly, but for right now, delete with that. There we go. We're just going to leave him. Bump. So I'm going to go ahead and start our demo again with our noisiness. And now I can walk around. And boom, we're in a combat. This is all the basic systems taking control. We're going to change a lot of this stuff when we actually get into making the PrinnyCast RPG. But this is a good demonstration. Oh, I do have to hit the button. I messed up. I'm actually hitting the enter to go inside. That should have been automatic. We'll fix that later. And now here's our boss fight. Yay! It's going to take several more hits than the other one does. Oh, and now I'm poisoned. That's not good. Let me see, do I have a special? No, too early. There we go. And there, we won the game. Now, there's a lot of stuff that we did wrong here. Not only did we not do these as we should have, yep, right there, trigger. This should have been player touch. Now it'll go right through it. Before we go, there's one more thing I want to show, and that's how easy it is to make a treasure chest. We're going to find ourselves our items chest. That one right there will do just fine. So we have ourselves a graphic. We're going to have a switch turned on here. And so when we go up here and somebody clicks on it, action button, yes, we're going to give, how about armor? We're going to give some hard armor, just for the heck of it. And hey, why not? Let's give him a little gold too. Let's make it 100 gold. And there's a whole bunch of different options once again that you can do with this. However, there's one more thing we need to do, is once this is done, we need to make sure they can't continue to get this over and over and over again. So we're going to make a self switch. I just selected the wrong one. There we are, self switch. You don't want to use control switches. This is an old school thing. This is how you had to do everything, but they've made it easier now to actually have up to 4 self switches. Wouldn't believe how much time that saves. So we're going to switch that on, and I actually need that one off. And now we're going to create a new event page. So you notice the little tab over here. And I'm going to create the, yeah, chest. That's what they're called. And this one's going to stay open with no walking animation. And we are going to make sure these self switches on. There it is down here. So yeah, you wanted to let them know what you just got. So we're going to do a simple text command. You just got some stuff. 100 gold and a hard leather armor, was it? Yeah, you're gonna see me typo a lot. Da-da-da-da. There you go. Speaking of which, we need a little bit of sound just to say, hey, we did something really good. No, Essie. Okay, this could take a second. Accessing a hard drive. And we would like... You can go down through here and test several different things, but I'm just looking at my coin. I'd rather something better than that, but we're in a hurry. This video's already running long. Okay, now... Go up here. Ta-da! And now we go into our options. And I'm pretty sure he can wear this. Yep, look at that. Bam. And we're all better to take our enemy on. And you'll notice that the treasure chest not only stays open because of that graphics change we did, we cannot collect it again. So we keep the cheating down. But this is just the starter of how simple this works, despite the fact that I'm absolutely fumbling over myself constantly. There's a lot to go over, and I'm hoping I don't lose anybody, but considering how I'm really skimming the hay, this is... yeah. Shut up, Chris. This is all for now. We'll get back into our next tutorial thing, where we get a little deeper into some of the other options before we actually start working on the PrinnyCast RPG. Cool. See y'all later, dudes.